You are capable of winning races, but you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, good Thursday evening, race fans. Welcome to the Dirt Racing Network, the Digital Sim Sports Network, and the live coverage of the NetCode ESports Mighty Midget Series 2025B season finale. And there are about 400 different ways that somebody can end up winning this thing. I kid. There's probably about 6 scenarios where somebody can win this thing. We'll get into that momentarily. I want to say right now, we're going to play a game tonight. We're going to watch the races, but we're going to play a game. You got to get it in before we get through the heat race, before the checkered flag of the final heat race. If you can pick the trifecta tonight, I got some special prizes that I will give. I'll make a prize pack out of, and I will give our first winner for the trifecta. You have to pick the winner of both features and who goes home with the big hardware tonight, the overall season championship. If you can pick that and you can do it before we get to the first feature, that's worth a good prize pack, in my opinion. So get your picks and get them in the chat. Do not sit there and wait and hold off. You'll miss your opportunity because we'll shut it down before the checkered flag in the final heat race of this very first session. It looks like we're only going to have 2 heats. So start thinking about that. This is the 17th time, or 18th time, excuse me, that we have been to Cedar Lake in this series. We've got 13 different winners in the past. Bo Brandon, Gunnar Harris, Cody Parmley, and Vincent Salas all have 2 each, and then 9 other drivers have wins. The last trip we were here, Bo Brandon and Craig Silby split the feature wins. And Brandon set a league record for the largest winning margin at 7.49 seconds when the checkers flew in his feature. Billy Barros, Josh Gerlach, and David Krikorian each have 15 top 10s in those 17 previous races at Cedar Lake. And then Barros, Silby, and Gerlach, the tops in top 5s. Our podiums, Craig Silby has 9, Bo Brandon 7, and Josh Gerlach 7. Convenient for Mr. Gerlach that he likes this place because he leads the points right now. Looking like August when we restart for 2025C. We may pick up some of the summer sizzler stuff for these guys through the summer. We'll see how that works out. But your track record currently 13.794 seconds. David Krikorian holds that. Now let's start to get into some of the scenarios. Gerlach has an 11-point lead over Billy Barros, 36 over Parmley, and 44 over Bo Brandon. That's your top 4. 3 points for each finishing position. 2 for a clean race and 3 for qualifying fast time. That's in session number 2. If Josh can finish second in both features, he wins it. Or if he wins the first one and doesn't finish worse than 5th in the second, he's the champion. Billy Barros has to win both and have Gerlach finish 3rd twice. And that's that's kind of the number situation for how Billy can do it. Cody Parmley can come from 36 back if he wins both races, which is well within the realm of possibility. Gerlach has to finish 7th or worse in both races, and Barros has to finish at least 5th in both races or worse. Then Parmley could be the championship. And if Bo Brandon is going to win it, he's got to win both races. Gerlach has to finish 8th or worse in both, while Barros finishes 6th or worse. And Parmley finishes 2nd and or 3rd in both races. Then Brandon can win the championship. That's also, I think you have to get the quick qualifier and the clean race, and you have to get all the bonus points for it. So, a lot of scenarios, but you still got 4 guys that have a fighting chance to win this thing. Right now, odds-on favorite is Josh Gerlach. He's been very strong this season. And like he's finally figured it out again. He kind of went on a vacation for a while or something there and has not been at the top of his game. But this season seems to be back in form. You're going to play trifecta. You got to get it in. You got to pick the winner of both features and who goes home with the championship. And I just laid out all the scenarios for you. If you can hit all three, I'll put a prize pack together. It'll be some pretty cool stuff. But you got to get it in before we get to the checkered flag of heat number 2 in this first session. Once that happens, all submissions will be closed. So, if you want to play, everybody likes free stuff. This you got to kind of make the right guesses, I guess. But practice is over. That means random draw heat races. We'll get ready to start with heat number 1. 13 drivers in the session, so there'll be 2 heats. Also, don't be afraid to shout out in the chat. Say hi. Let us know where you're watching from. You got a favorite driver, shout them out as well. Well, let's see. What do we want to do here? We want to do this and this. Let's get ready. For heat number 1, it'll be the 13 of Wayne Anelski on the pole with, hey, there's a 93 of Reed Brochart returning to us after a small hiatus. He starts outside the front row. Row 2, Billy Barros, one of your championship contenders, inside in the 38. And then the 16 of Cody Parmley will start on the outside. Another of our championship contenders. James Gray, the 76, row 3 to the inside with Austin Motley in the 37 on the outside there. And Garrett Boyd in the 21 G-Body out back to start heat number 1. There you go. There's Mr. Motley. He makes his appearance for us. Two heats in session 1. We get to that checkered flag. If you don't have your trifecta picks in, you missed out. If you do get them in, you got a shot. Anything can happen. We're off the air until next Tuesday after tonight. Hope everybody has a safe and happy, enjoyable, festive Memorial Day weekend. Please remember why we celebrate. If you see somebody with military garb on, be sure to thank them, because they are the reason. Those before them are the reason, and their service is the reason we can do the things that we can do. Pace trucks out of the way, green flag, and we're underway. The NetCode ESports Mighty Midget season finale 2025B. Anelski with a good run through 1 and 2, and he'll have about 8 car lengths. Coming around to lead lap number 1, Reed Brochart up to the 2nd spot, and then Barros and Parmley, and a battle behind that. Boyd is up there side by side, was challenging Gray off the bottom. And there's a lot of momentum already on the top. Battle for the lead starting to heat up because Brochart is getting closer and closer. Anelski is running right through the middle. Brochart up to the top side. And he's got a lot of momentum and a big head of steam coming down the front stretch. Billy Barros is starting to reel it in. Contact. Brochart got up on the right rear of Anelski's car. He's going to fall back to 3rd. Barros gets by, and Parmley's trying to work his way by. 3 wide out of turn number 2. Battle for the lead. Top 4 cars are right there. Anelski hanging on by a toenail. Brochart now has got it wound back up on the high side. He's working back up to the 2nd position. Parmley following him through. 2 to go. Heat 1. Highly contested already. Heat number 1. And now Anelski gives himself some cushion. He'll come around for the white flag. Brochart still 2nd. Parmley, Barros, Gray, Boyd, and Motley. White flag in the air one more time around. Out of turn 4, Wayne Anelski wins heat number 1. Brochart 2nd. Barros is 3rd. Oh, Parmalee snuck by. Parmalee got Barros right at the line right there. So Barros fourth, then Gray Boyd and Motley. So heat 2, final heat. Get your trifectas in before we get to the checkered flag in this one. Brett Wacker, the 12 car. He'll have the pole and your points leader heading into the final night of racing. This 71 of Josh Gerlach. On the outside, Bo Brandon, the final of our 4 championship contenders. The 49 car inside row number 2. Next to the Kiwi Conqueror, Craig Silby, your defending series champion, who will hand the crown over to one of those 4 drivers at the end of the night. And then Steven Spiess in the 55 and David Krikorian in the 66 are rounding out our field. All right. Final heat race of the night. Final heat race of the season. Show 2 is no heats. They qualify, then an LCQ, and then we're done. Head for the feature. Tonight's features, all extended 10 laps. They will both be 40 laps instead of 30. Should not make a difference. Should be exciting. Should be a lot of fun. There's a good group of guys. I would love to see them have an average of about 5 cars higher than what they've been getting, because it's just a really fun series. And this is a great core group of guys anyway. So we're going to get the pace truck out of the way. Heat 2 is now underway. And oh boy, Brent Wacker didn't go anywhere off the pole. Gerlach and Silby out to the point. Wacker kind of holding Brandon up. Brandon wants that bottom, and Wacker kind of had it. Now Brandon will get by, but here comes Krikorian on the top side. David Krikorian around the top, working into 4th. Now trying to go to 3rd. More contact. There goes your points leader, Josh Gerlach. Think he was off of the right rear of Bo Brandon right there. Brandon kind of went in on slider. Now Brandon down to the bottom, gets into Steven Spiess, and Bo Brandon is having all kinds of trouble with control in the 49 here in heat number 2. Josh Gerlach, damaged car. He's going to the pits. That is going to shake some things up. He's going to have some work to do. Silby out front. Krikorian, Brandon, Spiess, Wacker, then Gerlach off the track. So we're already down to 2 to go, and Craig Silby is way out in front. 1.4 seconds and extending. She'll come around to the white flag. It's 1-6 at the line. Krikorian, Brandon 2 and 3. They're only separated by about 15 car lengths. Craig Silby wins heat 2. I'll start on the outside of the front row for the 40-lap A main tonight. Well, he might not. I think, no, we didn't have enough. I think you have to have 15 before we do the redraw. Yeah, we do. We did. So no redraw. So they will go. Heads up. Silby, Krikorian, Brandon, Spiess. I missed the last one in there, and I know it was Josh Gerlach. Brett Wacker was 5th, and Gerlach was 6th. So no warm-up session. We're going to get right to it. 40 laps for the feature. And they will waste no time going right to it. I think the track must be perfect for them here. Let me shut this back massager off. Was making my eyeballs vibrate. I can't do it. All right, let's get ready for tonight's 40 lap A main with Wayne Anelski in the 13 and Craig Silby in the 7 on your front row. The 93 of Brochart next to the 66 of Krikorian, teammates in row number 2. Parmalee in the 16. 8 wins on the season already. He can tie the single season win record at 10 if he can sweep tonight. He starts a 16 car inside row number 3. Bo Brandon in the 49 will be his partner in that row on the outside. Billy Barros, the 38, next to Steven Spieth in the 55. Then James Gray, the 76. Brent Wacker, the 12 in row number 5. Garrett Boyd, Josh Gerlach in row number 6. And on the back, the 37 of Austin Motley. Sorry, folks, had to sneeze and I needed to turn the microphone off because you would not have enjoyed that. So they'll get single file, make sure everybody is in the right starting spot. After we take the green this time, they will stay at pace speed. We'll stay in this formation. And when we start officially lap number 2 on the scoreboard, they'll double up and then our front row will get us started at the end of that lap. 40 times around. Twice tonight, 40 times around to close out the season. Great racing all season long from these guys. It's always great racing from these guys. There's some nights when they've had some bumps and some bruises, but overall, always great racing from these guys. Can't wait to have them back in the fall for 2025C. All right, we're doubling them up. We're getting ready to go green. Not the final time, but the next to the final time for the season. Gerlach's got a lot of work to do. Some of the scenarios could start to come into play. We'll see what happens here, but green flag officially. Session number 1 underway. Car over on turn 2. Lap 1, Steven Spieth found some tires down here. In the 55, that's the car with the orange roll bars. And he is going to go down. He's going to catch the tires right about here. And up and over. And you're not going to have any fun with that. And he does not. So as quickly as we got started, we'll line them up and do it again. This time, 1 car shy of a full deck. No chatter going on in my chat streams. Nobody likes me. I get it. We didn't even get a quarter of a lap in. And problems, so we're going to get the pace truck out of the way. We're going to get restarted. Green flag back in the air. Anelski staying out on point. Silby in second. Then Krikorian Brochard. It's a little bit of a battle heating up right here. Barros, Brandon, and James Gray were almost side by side right there. Garrett Boyd working his way up to 8th already. Josh Gerlach is tucked in behind him in 9th, and Gerlach's got to get going. Guys in front of him.
All right, man, caution is out.
Caution! That was big. Anelski into the corner. Car got a little sideways, then it got a little help, then it got a lot of help, then it turned into parking lot. Brett Wacker is up on the fence back there a little ways back. So we had a little bit of assistance. With Mr. Anelski getting out of shape. I think we'll have quickie caution here. Looks like Garrett Boyd's car went to the pits as Steven Spieth has made it back to the racing surface. Pace truck's out of the way. Green flag back in the air. Keeping our eye a little bit on Gerlach right here. He's now into the 6th spot. He's got some work to do. Silby's out front. Brochart's still 2nd. Brandon 3rd. Actually, Barros got it back. Brandon was 3rd for a moment. Side by side, Barros and Brandon. Brandon now around the top and into that 3rd spot. Gerlach still 6th. He's behind James Gray. I'm not sure if that... if that car is hurt or not. We're going to find out here momentarily because he is starting to close in, and if he can get to racing with James Gray, needs them spots. He's got to go top 3, top 4, top 5 every race. He's got Cody Parmley trying to put some pressure on him too. Sylvia's still out in front by a 2nd. Barros is trying to take 2nd away from Brochart. Started to go with the slider, now does it in 3 and 4. Brochart's going to have to cross him over. Caution once again. This time, I believe Austin Motley solos it. Wacker right behind. He got a little sideways there, and Wacker was right behind. He's going to catch the fence, and he's going to catch the tires, and there's your caution. He kept his foot in it, but being stopped and being out of shape right there, that's what brings out caution number 3. We're only about 13 laps into this thing, so we got a long ways to go. A lot of racing left. Single filed him back up already. We're going to go around one more time. I think we're waiting to see. I don't know if we're getting a wave around for Steven Spieth or not. Garrett Boyd's about 7 laps down out there, but he's back on track. Now we'll get set to go back to green. Silby at pace speed, jumps on the throttle, keeps it around the top. He'll stay on the point. Bo Brandon working Reed Brochart up to the top side, drags the fence. That'll cost him, oh, I thought it was going to cost him more than 1 spot. But Gerlach checked up, took evasive maneuvers, thought maybe Brandon might pull it down off the fence. Gave him the space to do it, and that's going to cost Gerlach a spot. Parmley goes by. Gerlach's going to have to go top shelf racing here to get around Brochart. And he gets right out there to the fence. Car's a little too sideways for that. But he's going to run there in the 6th spot. Meanwhile, Silby on cruise control. He's still out front. Barros still second. Bo Brandon. Slider line working hard against Parmley. Hey, Mr. Harrison. Top 4 now, starting to come back together. Just a couple of car lengths between each position. And Sylvia is going right through the middle. Barros is now trying to go to the top side and see if he can run some momentum, keep the car wound up a little bit, and get big runs on the straightaways. Nobody's getting any closer. I think Parmley is just back there playing with his food. He's just waiting for a moment. He may try to go 3 for 1 here any moment now. Gerlach is up to the 5th spot. He's 2 seconds behind this battle. He needs another timely caution or he is going to have to get on his horse. There goes Bo Brandon around the high side. That is not something that we typically see. Bo Brandon working the top shelf. He's usually a bottom feeder. But he has really got the car rolling. He may have the lead before too long here. Silby covered the entry line. Going to keep him at bay, down to 17 to go. Cody Parmley around Billy Barros moves himself into the top 3. 16. Gerlach is 1.75 seconds, so he's closing the gap. He's cut off a 1/4 second. And that time, Brandon had a big run. Silby overcooks the entry. We're going to get a caution. And we're going to be able to follow this one pretty closely. And Silby just got into 3, and he really overdrove it, getting down to the center of the corner right here. Right rear. Got into the fence. So that'll shake things up at the front. It'll put Bo Brandon. Hey, I need to talk to you, Mr. Vinny. Silby Krikori. No, that's not right. It's Bo Brandon. Cody Parmley, Billy Barros, Josh Gerlach, Reed Brochart, the top 5. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. Are you going to be around when I get done with both shows tonight? You can meet me in my Discord. It won't take 5 minutes. Let's see who's back here a little deeper. So David Krikorian rejoins us on the lead lap in 11th, and then Spieth and Boyd are behind that. Boyd is about 7 or 8 laps, 8 laps officially down. So restart at the front. Bo Brandon caught Cody Parmley absolutely daydreaming. And he'll open it up to about 6 car lengths, 5 car lengths, 4 car lengths now as Parmley got to get a run out of 4, and he is going to start to show him the pressure. Barros is still 3rd. Gerlach is now 4th. Well, Brandon had to win them both, and I believe Gerlach had to finish 8th or worse. So now Cody Parmley is going to go to the high side and grab the lead away from Bo Brandon, and he'll keep it in 3 and 4. The slider didn't work for Brandon. Lap starting to tick off. This will be win number 9 on the season if Parmley can hang on, and that'll put him 1 away from tying the all-time single-season wins record. Gap starting to open up. First to second, second to third. Fourth place, Billy Barros. Can't have any errors. Gerlach is right there, and I don't know what that'll do in the points. But it is going to shake some stuff up. It's 11 points coming into the night. Barros knows he's there now. 8 to go, and Parmalee is out by half a second. Brandon still in second. He's got about 7/10 of a second over this battle right here for third. Gerlach now trying the cut down line, and that doesn't get him any closer. Car backwards. You ain't going to believe it, folks. Bo Brandon. And I believe he did this by finding the outside wall out of turn number 2. Up that backstretch. Right there, close little bump right there. Yep, he sure did. He got the right rear end, and then he could not save the car. Everybody's going to miss him. And he got it throttled up and spun around, but we're going to have a 7-lap shootout. Parmalee, Barros, Gerlach, Brochard, Anelski, Silby, Gray, Motley, and Krikorian. Spieth is a lap down. Brent Wacker to the pits, and Garrett Boyd 8 laps down. He may be able to sneak out a 12th place finish out of this. Yeah, I need to talk to you about a race, Adam. That's what I need to talk to you about. Might end up being a bigger deal than even I thought it was going to be, but I definitely want to get with you about it. Piece of information, I already talked to Troy. Moi, ha, ha. I'm just kidding. It's not bad. It's all good, buddy. I'm just kidding. Parmalee getting us restarted with 7 laps to go. Gerlach made a bid on the bottom for second. Can he hang on up the backstretch? He sure can. He got the car in there around Barros. Now Barros will fight back on the bottom of 3 and 4. Barros through 1 and 2, got the spot back. Gerlach found a little bit less racing room than he was expecting. Drug the fence a little bit. Now he'll have to go crossover maneuver. Now Slider through 1 and 2. Great battle for second. Parmalee gone. 4 laps to go. Two drivers contending for the title, and I think if Gerlach gets this here, I don't know, that is going to shake everything up, because that's going to mean that Barros has got to win, and maybe Gerlach can't finish better than about 5th or 6th. Caution once again, and that may change everything. James Gray in the 76 got Bo Brandon right there hounding him. He found the fence, Oh, my. Yeah, he found the fence, and when he went to pitch it in the corner, it just broke completely loose on him. So a green-white checker shootout for this one. 6 cautions at Cedar Lake. That is way above the average for these guys. I can promise you that. Still looks like we're going to have 12 of our 13 on the track for the finish. Boyd and Wacker, 8 laps down each. They're going to be racing each other back here for 12th and 13th. The battle's going to be at the front now. Craig Silby back up to 5th spot. 3 of your 4 title contenders are in the top 3 right now. The green flag back in the air. 2 laps. I don't know if Gerlach can do anything with Parmley. He's going to try to hang on for second. That may be enough to seal the deal for him, too. Second place finish. But the white flag, feature number 1 coming to a close. Cody Parmley going for win number 9, and it looks like he is going to get that easily. He'll be 1 win shy with 1 race to go of tying the single season wins record. Parmley takes it to victory lane. Gerlach second, Barros is third, Silby fourth, and Nelski fifth. Brochart 6th, Brandon 7th, Krikorian 8th, Motley is 9th, Spies 10th, Gray 11th, Boyd 12th, and Wacker in 13th. The last 4 cars more than 1 lap down. So we will start to get ready to talk to our top 3. We'll ask the right questions, I know, and we'll wait for Cody Parmley, but we're going to get started with the driver in the 38 car. He was second coming into the night in the points. He finishes third behind your points leader, Billy Barros. You had him behind you for a long time.
Yeah, that 71 car sure drove his pants off at the end there. I gave it all I could. It wasn't quite enough, but man, that was a fun one.
Yeah, it looked like everybody had to go to the top shelf there because the bottom really was not able to let you go forward. That makes it kind of tricky when everybody's got to race the same line.
It does. It's tough, especially when somebody throws a slider and you got to cut down and get off that fast line, and it makes for some really good battles. But that's how Josh snuck by there. Had a great restart. You could definitely use it on the restarts, but that was about it. Then you're moving back up to the top. So great job to him and to Cody for yet another excellent drive.
Well, that is going to shake things up ever so slightly. Now, do you know what the scenario is to steal this championship into race number 2?
It's not optimal. I was hoping to come out in front of him here so I could be a little bit closer, but I think I got to beat him by a good couple of positions this time. So there's no use in trying to battle close. Just got to try to get out front and walk away and do whatever I can, man.
Well, and I don't know, even winning this, is Parmley still in the fight? Because Gerlach finishes second, and I thought he had to finish 5th or worse.
I think Parmley is still in it, but he needs something pretty dramatic between both Josh and I at this point because we stayed so close.
All right, man. Well, 3rd place definitely keeps you locked into the points. You got a shot in race number 2. We'll see if Lady Luck has anything for you. But give me the shout-outs and thank yous before we let you head for session number 2.
That's right. We'll go give it our best. Thank you, Roger, as always. Really appreciate having you here. It's been a great season having you back. Thanks to Josh for putting the league together, and thanks again to everyone else for coming out and racing with us. This is a blast every Thursday.
All right, man. Good luck in session 2. Hopefully we get to talk to you at the end of it.
That sounds good.
That is Billy Barros finishing in 3rd place. Now we'll move on. I don't want to say he had an up and down night because really he just moved forward, but it was not simple. It was not easy, and it definitely didn't hurt you in the points. But Josh Gerlach, that had to be kind of a, well, let's just say a daunting task right there.
Roger, it sure as heck was not ideal. I can say that much. Yeah, an up and over kind of night to start it. That was not great. I thought I was actually going to be pretty decent firing off second, and then kind of got myself in a bad spot trying to cut down underneath Bo, and we met. So got to pass a lot of cars here. Just tried to follow that black 16 or no numbered car, and it ended up working out, thankfully.
Well, I see the points are updated already, and it looks like it's 14, so that's about 5 positions, not counting qualifying and everything else. You know, not such a good run in session 1. What are you going to have to do to reset and focus that hard enough to make sure you're locked into session 1 and that you keep that 38 car at bay?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, you know, ultimately we ended up second and finished ahead of 38. Had a hell of a battle with him. That was it's always fun when you can race that hard with a guy and know they're not going to run you dirty, which is always the case with Billy. But that really was my goal. You know, Cody's so fast. You know, I kind of just have to plan on him finishing ahead of me, and Billy was the guy I was trying to beat there. We were able to do that in the first session. Hopefully we can do it in the next one.
All right, man, some shots of thank yous before session 2 opens up.
Yeah, Roger, thank you for doing this every week. James Gray, Robert Brenneman, Mike Gebhard, and Billy Barros for helping us get on DRN this year. And then thanks to NetCode Brand, Always Race Day, and the Knoxville Knights podcast. Follow at Knoxville Knights.
Cool deal. We didn't get anybody else to play with me, but I'm telling you right now, if Parmalee wins again, he ties the season wins record. He's 2 of my 3 in my trifecta. If you get the Wood Championship, I get free stuff. I want you to know that.
Who's paying for this free stuff?
Well, of course, me, but I get free. I've never won.
There we go.
My own games, I've never won it.
Well, I'll give you a participation trophy after this, no matter what. How about that?
I knew you would. I knew you would, brother. Well, good luck out there. Hopefully I get a chance to talk to you holding the big hardware at the end of the night.
Sounds good. Thanks, Roger.
Josh Gerlach, he finishes second in this one. Oh, we lost our car. Oh, there it is. Whew. I was scared for a moment. I thought we lost him. Cody Parmalee, win number 9. You're 1 away, sir.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I can tie the world record or the record, whatever it is. But yeah, we'll try.
Well, you started 5th in this one, which, I mean, a lot of times I'm used to watching you come from the very back, so you didn't have nearly as far to go, and you still made it look way easier than I think it actually was.
No, I still got the EOL. I had to start from the back.
I did not see you go to the back. Well, then that's a more impressive drive than I thought, because you even fooled me, because I thought you just started right there in the 3rd row.
Yeah, I thought I was going to, but then before the feature started, he said I was going to get an EOL. But I'm happy with the EOL, to be honest.
Well, what's the plan for session number 2 here, knowing that you're 1 win away from tying the record, and you got to hope for a whole lot of really crazy things to happen to the rest of those guys. But if you go out and take care of your business, you still got a shot.
Yeah, I just got to do what I did in this one. Try to race smart. Try to dodge wrecks. I mean, I didn't think I was going to pass Bo for a second, because I really wanted to slide him in 3 and 4, but I knew he was running slider line, so I had to change it up and slide him 1 and 2, which surprisingly worked.
Well, an awesome run, man. Another win. You're 1 away. Give me some shout-outs before we let you go and start prepping up for session 2.
Everyone at Mighty Midgets for making this a series and letting me run, and of course you guys for streaming.
All right, man. I'm going to drop you back in the waiting room. Good luck in session 2. We'll see if you can tie the record.
Thank you.
Cody Parmalee wins again. That is win number 9 on the season for that dude. And that tie, one more ties the all-time single-season wins record. But we're watching the points. Like I was saying a second ago when I was talking to Josh, it is 14 points from 1st to 2nd and 33 from 1st to 3rd. So there's an outside chance that Parmalee can win the race, and if Barros and Gerlach both just have terrible races and finish 12th and 13th, he might be able to do the sweep and the steal all in the same event. So we'll just have to see. That is going to be coming up here in just a few minutes. We aren't going to go anywhere. I am going to do what I always do here. I am going to let you folks watch our wonderful logo. I'm going to throw some tunes on. I don't know which one we're going to play tonight. I never did download the new stuff, so shame on me. But let's give you a little something to listen to while we get ready to switch servers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Another Saturday, drinking through my salary. Half cigarette burning in the ashtray. It goes up in smoke like you and me.
And not the thing that it used to be.
I saw you out again, posting stories with your friend. Well, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that late night last call. It might have been the full moon shining in the night sky. And it might have been our song playing on the radio station when you turn it down. All those melodies were bringing back the memories. Your kiss on my lips told me why you missed me. Must have been something in the whiskey.
All right, the trip is complete. We made it into session number 2. No glitches this week. What do you know? Maybe we're finally figuring this thing out after 7 years. It is hard to believe that coming up in August, 7 years for the Dirt Racing Network. Been a long time. But we got business here. They are working the track in, getting it ironed out nice and smooth again so we can get session number 2 underway. Session 2, a little different than session 1. Qualifying after the practice session. Top 5 get locked in to the A main, and they will go into the redraw. Everybody else will go into the last chance qualifier, 12 laps. The winner of that race will join those 5 in that redraw. So you could not qualify in the top 5 and still end up with the pole if you can win the B main. And if the draw is good for you. And then 40 laps, and we'll close the season out. We'll see if we can hit my trifecta, which was Cody Parmley, and Josh Gerlach. Cody Parmley for the win, and he feature 1, feature 2, and Josh Gerlach to hang on and seal the deal and pick up the championship here. We needed to look at the Ironman points, and I absolutely whiffed on that for y'all, and I am very sorry. Let me see if I can catch up to those. Where is that link? Here we go. Let me see if I can catch up to that. Standings show, wow, Josh Gerlach has the lead in the Ironman now. Craig Silby was leading that thing. No, that's not right. That was Josh Gerlach for the last time. It had to be. No, Oswego. No, it was right. He's got a 121 point lead there. 152 to Krikorian, 155 to Barros, and 284 to Anelski. That's after 32 races. So Gerlach already has a couple of Ironman titles to his credit. All right, looks like we are ready for qualifying. That can mean only one thing. We're going to watch a couple of laps from as many drivers as we can watch. We'll watch that top 5. The 5th place car every time is the bubble car, and anytime somebody goes faster, that's the first guy that gets knocked out. So we'll watch every single one of these guys. Go watch Garrett Boyd come out onto the racetrack. 21 machine. Let's see what G-Body can do. Right around the bottom for lap 1. Didn't hit the tires. That's good. Didn't clip them again. A little slow right there through the apex of the corner, but the first time to come in is his. And he is not even quick, as he's just 100th behind Reed Brochard at 14.46. Right now, James Gray is going to be 5th at least for a moment. Barros goes to the top. Spieth now goes to the top. Puts Wacker on the bubble. Steven Spieth, 14.19 in qualifying on lap 1. Lap number 2, he's going to have to best it because Brandon just moved him down. And he does not. So Brandon Spieth, Barros, Brochard, and Gray. Josh Gerlach on the racetrack right now. We'll see the points leader. Got to come up from 7th, and he's on the bubble. Craig Silby, and I think Silby's just out here running. I don't think he's actually trying to qualify. He never does. He might be. I might be completely wrong. Yeah, he was 4 seconds off, so he didn't really try. He just went out there, did a couple of loafer laps, and now he's trying to put some laps in, get a good feel for this. He loves to go to that B main and try to win it. He likes passing the cars. Some days that works out for him, and some days it does not. Krikorian 10th quick on lap 1. He has got to go better than Gerlach. Gerlach on that bubble, and I don't think that lap was going to count. It does, and he goes to 4th, and he knocks Gerlach out of qualifying spot number 5, which locked him into the top 3 rows. He's going to have to come out of that B main. That could shake some things up with Barros and Brandon already being up there. Parmalee will not qualify because he is going to start at the back of the A main anyway. So he'll come out in the B main, and he'll work on passing cars, trying to figure out where the racing line is going to be for the feature. And I can tell you that any of those top 5 guys that aren't out there, they probably ought to focus on watching that 16 car and what he is doing, because he's going to be the guy. Looking for the sweep and looking to tie the series record for single season wins at 10, and he's just 1 shy. So Bo Brandon, Steven Spieth, Billy Barros, David Krikorian, and Reed Brochart all locked in to tonight's A main already. We will watch Gerlach, Anelski, Motley, Gray, Boyd, Wacker, Silby, and Parmalee duke it out to see who will join them in the redraw. And we'll see. Cody Parmalee may not even come out for this. I don't know. I think he would, just for the laps. But maybe not. He may be a whole lot smarter than I am. I know he's a lot more skilled out there in that midget than I am. But he may not. He may be a whole lot smarter than I am and not go out there and tip his hand. See, I'm not very smart. I would get out there because I want the laps. I want to see how I can pass cars, all of those things. And, yeah, there he is. We'll see what he does. Now, I've seen him come out here, go and win this, still not get the redraw, but he just kept somebody else from getting it, and then still went to the back of the A main. I can tell you that the driver of the 71 really wants to get back in that redraw, because he could go from winning the B main to having the pole in the feature, and that would set him up very nicely not to be in the middle of some soup and some trouble and take a chance on last race dumping this championship to somebody else. So Cody Parmalee going to start way out back, Jack, it looks like. Doesn't matter. We're going to put the camera on him no matter what at some point. It's just kind of inevitable. Gerlach and Anelski. And Anelski started on the pole and went wire to wire in his heat race in session number 1. He's been quick. Got kind of caught up in some messy stuff in the feature early and did not recover from it. But the green flag is in the air in the B main. Last chance qualifier. Ticket to the redraw, whatever you want to call it, is underway. Final time of the season. Gerlach to the front. Anelski is second. Motley. Different paint on that car for Austin Motley. Used to seeing him in a red machine. Tonight it's green and gold and white. And he is hanging on to third. Here comes Craig Silby. Silby from the back, as is his style. It's kind of a tough rap. He's a very aggressive driver, and at times he can cross the line. He can forget where the very edge of the envelope is. But he is truly a racer at heart. I can tell that about him just talking to him and watching him out there on the racetrack. He's trying to go hard every single lap, and he likes to pass the cars. So that's why this is a lot of fun for him. He's up to third, closing in on Anelski. He's 0.8 of a second behind the leader, Josh Gerlach, right now. Parmalee is up to the 4th spot. Carved his way up here already. Boyd is 5th. Motley, Wacker, and then James Gray has already taken that 76 car to the pit. Something amiss on that machine, and he will not finish the B main. He'll start last in the A main tonight. Parmalee kind of got cut off right there. Parmalee following Silby. Now drops it all the way to the bottom. Silby checked it up a little bit. Both Anelski and Sylvia open the door, and Parmley will go through to second, 2 for 1, and he did it the hard way. Rolled the bottom. No sliders, no nothing, just rolled right by, and he's going to be 1 second behind Gerlach with about 4 laps to go. It'll be 3 this time out of turn 4. Sylvia is third, Anelski is fourth, Board is fifth. Whacker sixth, everybody else off the track. But Josh Gerlach's going to get exactly what he needs, it looks like. If he can hang on, take this thing to the finish, he's going to get back in the redraw. White flag coming out this time. Parmley drove it from 8th. He's up to 6th. That time a little too aggressive getting to the fence. But Gerlach will go into the redraw. He wins the LCQ. Parmley second, Sylvie third, Anelski fourth, then Garrett Boyd, Brent Wacker, Austin Motley, and James Gray. And then there was one 40-lap feature left in the season to crown a champion who has a 14-point lead coming into that race. So we wait for them to send the redraw up to us. No shows on Monday. Show on Tuesday. Show on Wednesday. Season finale for the Midwest Trucks. They will be at Kansas. There's only 3 shows left on Tuesday night for a little while. See what the boys are going to do. But Memorial Day, no races. Well, it's interesting. I'll tell you that. You're going to have Bo Brennan, who pretty much took himself out of the championship hunt in race number 1. Starting on the pole, you'll have David Krikorian on his outside, then Josh Gerlach from the LCQ up to row 2 on the inside. Next to Steven Spiess, then Reed Brochart and Billy Barros in row number 3 to start our feature tonight. Oh, we are about ready to get going. Final 40 laps of the season. And like I was saying, that front 3 rows is not going to be what you see there. But Cody Parmley, I think he's going to be dropping to the back, and Wayne Anelski will slide up next to Craig Silby in row number 4. Row 5 should be Brent Wacker and Garrett Boyd, and then it should be Austin Motley and Cody Parmley at the back. Brandon will stay where he's at. Spiess and Krikorian will swap positions. Gerlach will move into the vacated spot where Barros sits. Reed Brochart will stay where he's at, and Billy Barros and Josh Gerlach have swap spots, and that'll put Barros on the outside throw. So, Gerlach starting in front of Barros. Barros needed to be in front of him. He needs to be at least 5 positions in front of him at the end of the race, because it's 3 points per position. And it's 14 points right now. That would be a 1-point victory for Billy Barros. Barros needs to have a terrible race. Gerlach needs to have a terrible race. And Parmley needs to come up and win. I think they need to finish 12th and 13th out of this. And it looks like 13th place, James Gray, not going to even be able to make it back on the race track. So 11th and 12th. I don't know if that's enough spots. It was 33 points. To get to, it was 19 to get to Barros, and then another 14 to get to. I don't think there's enough spots. I think Gerlach can still win it, even if he finishes 12th, as long as Barros doesn't finish better than 7th. So we'll see. Parmley comes to win, and Gerlach wins the championship. I get the trifecta, folks. I wrote it down. All right, we're doubled up. We're getting ready to go green for the final time in the 2025 B season. NetCode ESports Mighty Midgets championship on the line. It's 14 points from first to second. They're all starting in the top 6. And the green flag in the air. Bo Brandon immediately going back to what he did in race number 1. He's not usually the top side guy, but he is going to run it hard right here. Josh Gerlach is going to work to the inside of Krikorian, and he is going to take second, at least for the time being. Now he's got it by a full car. Spieth is 4th behind Krikorian. Barros 5th, Silby 6th. Parmley's only picked up 1 spot. I think he's going to be a little more cautious than careless and see if he can tie that single season record. Brannon up top and just holding it nice and steady. And he is staying out front. Krikorian solidly in 3rd. Steven Spieth got around Billy Barros, and he is able to stay right there. So a couple 3 spots between Gerlach and Barros right now. Barros needs that to flip-flop. He needs to get on his horse and get moving. Let's go back and look. Reed Brochard is 8th. He's the only car running the bottom on this whole racetrack right now. Everybody else right out by the fence, ripping the lip. Parmley is going to work his way around Brochard and put him 8th right now. Car at the back, I think that's Brent Wacker. Took himself for a little loop-de-loop back there. Now, Bo Brandon is starting to ease away from 2nd place Josh Gerlach. He's out there about 9/10. Down on the bottom goes Gerlach. I think that was a mistake because he's going to lose even more ground. He lost 2/10 in a span of a corner. David Krikorian trying to creep in on him. Guys better look now. Here comes Parmley up to 5th. He's running the bottom, and he's the only guy making forward progress down on the bottom. He's going to go around Barros. Barros falling to 6th. Spieth is going to fall to Parmley here. Gets it around the high side. He'll drag race him. And now Parmley moves to 3rd, going for that spot on Krikorian. I thought he was going to go full tilt slider right there. And he just rolled it out to the middle, parked it right there, and let Krikorian have space. Now he goes with the slider all the way to the fence. And here comes Parmley. Hot shoot it to the back of the field, up to 3rd. And we are still 25 laps from the end of this thing. Now he goes around Gerlach. Gerlach crossed him over. Must have felt that one coming. Now Gerlach will slide up in turn 2. Couldn't get the door shut before we got to 3 and 4, and I think Parmley may have him for good now. Gerlach back to 3rd. Krikorian, Silby, Barros to 6th. Anelski, Brochard, Spieth, Boyd in the top 10. Motley and Wacker 11 and 12. And 12th place Wacker not that far in front of your leader, Bo Brandon, about a straightaway. Now, Bo Brandon has 1.4 seconds on Cody Parmley at the moment. But Parmley has been about a 1/10 and a half faster the last couple of laps. That time he's 2/10 quicker. 14:45 and a 14:22. As Bo Brandon now up on the lap car, Brent Wacker. Ooh. He put it in that little bitty sliver of a hole and went right around him. Wacker now goes to the bottom. That's going to let Parmley really reel in another couple of tenths on Brandon. He's got it down to 1.1 seconds. That slider line in 3 and 4 appears to be really quick For Parmley, he's a 1/10.5 to 2/10 quicker, just running that different line in turns 3 and 4. Ian Lowe slides it out to the center, lets the right rear find the fluff, and then drives the car off. And this time he cuts almost 3/10 off.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Caution for the first time. That is going to be for the 37 of Austin Motley. A little out of shape there. Oh, yeah, overcooked it, and then he tried to correct it. And here come cars. That was your leaders going by. So we just crossed under halfway, and we get the first caution in session number 2. And that is going to erase about 3/4 of a second. Brandon had on Parmley. Gerlach still third, Silby fourth, Krikorian fifth, Barrow sixth, Adelski, Spies, Brochart, Boyd, and Motley back to the back of the field. Brett Wacker 12th. He's a lap down. So Brandon's had it his way. Start up front. Lead all the laps. Yeah, you got a little work to do, buddy. Still got 18 more of those you got to lead, and you got the guy that's looking at double-digit wins for the season right behind you, and he drove from 12th place. Pace truck getting out of the way, ready for
Green flag, green flag.
the restart. Right up to the fence. All of them. Only a couple of cars not out at the top right now. Parmley really starting to put on the pressure. And I think Bo Brandon's starting to feel it. He is trying to pick up the pace. And I think Parmley's just sitting back there, maybe playing with his food a little bit. Like that proverbial shark in the water, a little nibble just to let you know something's there, and then he goes for the big bite. And he just took the big bite, and Brandon crossed him over, and that's going to put Silby in the mix now. Silby got around Gerlach. Barros just got around Krikorian, so your championship points guys are right there. 4th and 5th, right next to one another. Now Parmley thought about going in that little bitty opening up at the top, thought better of it, crosses over, big slider, and Bo Brandon showing some grit. Parmley drives it way wide on the outside, got into the fence a little bit. Brandon left him just enough of a sliver to make him make a choice. Parmley made that choice, and it didn't work out because the gap wasn't quite wide enough. And now Craig Silby is going to go 2 for 1. He didn't quite get there, and Josh Gerlach is going to be the 4th car in this battle. So with 10 to go, the top 4 are back battling for the win. Silby through the middle between drivers. Wasn't able to get it. He's still 3rd going down the backstretch. Great battle up front. Top 3 nose to tail. 4th place, Josh Gerlach is closing in. Parmley trying to go for the slider. He knew he didn't have it. I think he's trying to worry Bo Brandon into a mistake. Like I said, come and brush up against you. Come and take a little bitty nibble. Just a little mouth. Oh, Josh Gerlach is backwards. Caution coming out. Oh, my. Oh, me, oh, my. This might shake everything up. There's just a handful of laps to go, about 6. Right there. Committed to the bottom, and Silby was already there. Then Krikorian right into the front end of the 71. And that'll put Gerlach back to at least 9th. Barros is 4th. That's exactly 5 positions. If it ended right here, Billy Barros wins this by 1 point. Parmley, Brandon, Silby, Barros, Spies, Anelski, Brochart, Boyd, Gerlach, and Krikorian. Austin Motley back on track. He's 5 laps down. Brett Wacker is about 6 laps down. So now it gets interesting because now we got to figure the gap between 38 of Billy Barros and the 71 of Josh Gerlach by the time we get these last 6, 7 laps in. But we're going to get back to it. It's 6 to go. Parmley with a good start, bumps the fence in 1 and 2. Brandon wasn't able to capitalize. Silby took advantage of Brandon being up at the top side, and he takes second away. Barros is still 4th. Spies is right there. Spies passes Barros. That helps Gerlach. Gerlach now goes around Boyd. Can he hang on to it? Caution. This looks like this might be a wild one. That's Austin Motley in the green and white car. Oh, he got down and he just barely tapped the back end of the 66, spun him around, and Brett Wacker was right in the middle of that. So the work that Gerlach was doing to get a spot, all for naught, and we just took laps off the board. It's still 5 positions between the top 2. Those 5 positions super important because 3 points of position. It was 14 points coming into this race. It is now 1 point to the good for Billy Barros. 4 laps is all that remains. Barros has to hang on where he's at and hope that Gerlach can't get around Boyd and or anyone else. If that happens, Billy Barros will steal it in the final race. But we're going back to the front because the green flag is coming out. 4 laps remaining. I thought Barros was going to make a real good run right through the middle and maybe pick up a cushion spot there for himself. But he can't get around Brandon now. Gerlach trying to go to the bottom. He needs a spot from Brochart or Boyd or both. If he is going to get this championship, and he's going to have to get desperate because we're coming around to just 2 to go. He may have to take a chance. It's going to be all or nothing right here. Parmley way out in front. Looks like he is going to tie the single season record. That was a tap of doom right there. 21 and the 71 got together. White flag is in the air. 5 spots between them. Parmley's going to tie the single season record. He'll go back to back tonight. Silby second. Brandon third. Barros is 4th. Gerlach is 9th, and I am pretty sure your 2025B champion is going to end up being the 38 car of Billy Barros, and he's going to do it by a singular point. We will wait for the official announcement. Parmley, Silby, Brandon, Barros, Anelski, Spies, Boyd, Brochart, Gerlach, Krikorian, Wacker, Motley, and Gray are the finishing order. The points is what we're going to wait on. we'll get ready to talk to our top 3 while we wait for all of that. Bo Brandon, you got a copy?
Hey, Roger, how are you?
I am good, man. You looked super strong in the first half of this thing, and that caution closed up the gap, and then after that, it was bite on.
Yeah, I think I cooked my tires or something. I'm not really sure. I just didn't really have the drive out of the corners after that long run. So it is what it is, you know. I just coming out to have my fun mostly, and yeah, great group of guys to race with, and so happy to kind of break my spell of bad races and mistakes. You know, I need to be racing more often, to be honest. Like, I've only been racing this league last few months, and I'm just not quite as up on my skills as I once was. So I need to stop taking some vacations and buckle down if I want to do any better than that.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm a racer at heart. I have been my entire life. I love racing to death, but dude, you only live once. Travel every chance you get. I have figured that out in my later years, and I cannot figure out for the life of me why I didn't start doing it sooner. It's only because I really wanted to race more, and I think that was a mistake. So enjoy the racing when you do it, man. It's good to see you back being pretty consistent. I got to ask you, though, race number 1, you were rolling along pretty good, and the backstretch fence, there must be some kind of a monster back there that don't like 49 cars.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just ran out of talent right around the middle of the backstretch, or I don't know what other excuse could I pull out? Maybe how about I thought it was a 30-lap race instead of a 40-lap race? That'd be a pretty valid one, right?
Yeah, but I think happened. I think that happened before lap 30.
Oh, it did it? Okay. Well,
I think so.
That doesn't really work then. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like, you know, I haven't been practicing. I haven't been racing a lot other than, you know, here once a week. And it's, you just need to be running. If you're going to compete with a guy like Cody Parmley, like, you got to be running more than that. And I pushed it flew a little too close to the sun. I got into the wall in 2, and then, you know, that just didn't set up a good backstretch run. And just slowly turned that car towards that outside wall. Glad nobody ran over me, though.
Well, we are too, buddy. It's been a heck of a season, man. We'll look forward to seeing you get back into form by the time we come back for the 2025 C season in August, all right?
Will do. Yeah, thanks to Varix.com. All your e-commerce needs, Mike, good marketing. Josh and Robert and Billy for putting on a show. Is Robert still here? I don't know. Thanks to him anyway, you know, for all the contributions he's made. Thank you to you, Roger. Thanks to all the drivers that sponsored the season this year. This has been, it's always great to go back and watch the replays and stuff, and it wouldn't be possible without them. So big shout out to them as well. And my wife and my parents, thanks so much.
All right, man. Congrats on a great run to close the season out. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Thanks, Roger.
Bo Brandon finishing 3rd in the season finale, and now we'll talk to the driver that finished 2nd tonight, and Craig doing Craig things. He did not qualify. He started at the back of the B-main and drove through the cars. I know he loves doing that. And then he drove through the cars again to go in the A-main. At least you had some fun tonight, right?
Oh, I most certainly did, Roger. Thank you for that. It's it was wild. I had to run the first race kind of twice because I got turned partway through, and then I think I hit the wall and flipped, and then I had to come back through. And I was just talking to Billy about actually that ended up being a whole lot more fun.
Well, I was telling the fans when we were watching all the qualifying, and I said, well, Craig's out there running laps. What's he doing? You're 4 seconds off the pace. I said, well, Craig is doing what Craig does. Craig would rather go out there and try to pass all the cars then start in front of them and then try to hold them off. I said, you know, sometimes Craig, you know, he steps on it a little bit every once in a while. There's mistakes made when he does this. It bites him in the butt, but it's his way of doing things, and he has a whole lot more fun doing it, and looked like you had a pretty good time out there passing everybody twice tonight.
You're right there. It's actually the other way around. I actually make mistakes most of the time, and occasionally I get it right.
Well, it's always fun to watch you, my friend. We're glad that you're adorning your race machine with all of our logos. We always appreciate that. Give me some shout-outs and some thank yous before we let you go start contemplating what's going to happen in the 2025 C season.
Yeah, and thanks again, Roger, for your support. And I love having the logos on my car. Digital Sim Sports Network is a great place to watch us race, and Dirt Racing Network and your commentary. It just makes it that so exciting. And NetCode ESports, all the guys that show up every week. We're getting some pretty tight rivalries. We're running so close. Like I'm getting a bit annoyed with getting the bump to pass, but it's not intentional. I know that, and it's just we're racing so tight. I feel really bad for Josh. I had no idea I bombed down to try a different line to the guys in front of me. I had no idea he was bombing down behind me, and he smacked into me, and that might have cost him some points. But I feel really bad for that. Sorry, Josh.
All right, man. Well, congrats on another good season, and we'll look forward to seeing you back in the fall.
Thanks again, guys, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
That is Craig Silby, the Kiwi Conqueror, finishing in a second in the season finale. And now we're going to move on. He's not the first to do it, but he does tie the record for the most wins in a single season. Cody Parmalee, you had to come from the back again. This time, it looked like you were on a mission. You really went after these guys, and you got there pretty quick.
Yeah, like I said last race, I was gonna play it smart. Yeah, I didn't really do that this race. I almost junked my stuff every lap.
Well, we saw you get up there and start racing really hard with Bo Brandon, and I told the fans, I can't tell if he's playing with his food for sure or not, because he wants to get up there and show you. It's like the shark slides by and just brushes your leg. Then the next time he comes and just kind of mouth you a little bit to see if you taste okay. And then finally you went after the big bite, and after that it was kind of over.
Yeah, I wasn't really trying to play with my food. I mean, I don't know if I was doing that at all, but I was trying to figure out a way to pass Bo, because I mean, slider in 1 and 2 was not really the play, because the top was just fast. But that's why in 3 and 4 I tried to tell him. I just gave it one try, almost junked it.
Well, it looked like the slider line was really good for you in 3 and 4, because you were picking up a couple of tenths a second just on that end of the track, but he was already up there and kind of killing that closeout line on the exit.
Yeah, I think the slider line was fast for sure, but I think if you hit top 3 and 4 all the way around just perfect, I think it was a tad bit faster. As you can see, I almost got around him. But once that went away, like once it was like maybe five laps left, slider line was the dominant line.
All right, man. So now that the season is over and you've tied the record, 2025 C season starting in August, are we going to see Cody Parmalee come and try to break the record that he just tied?
I mean, I'm gonna try. I mean, that's all I could do.
Well, we know we're going to see you start at the back a lot, but, man, we'd be interested to see if someone can pick up more than 10 wins in a single season. All right, man, we're going to close it out. Give me some shout-outs, some thank yous before I let you go.
Of course, everyone at Mighty Midgets for letting me be a part of it and hosting the series, and you guys for streaming. And I do want to say one more thing. If only I didn't hit Bo in that last Oswego race, I think I might have beat the record.
I do, too. I think so, too. I think that was what broke the string and also kept you from having the record all to yourself. But awesome season, man. I'll look forward to seeing you back in the fall.
Yep.
Cody Parmalee winning again. That is win number 10 on the season, and that ties the single season record. This guy doesn't tie the single season record. What he does do is steal the championship, but what I believe is a single point. Is that correct, Billy?
I believe with bonus points included, it came down to 3, which still, how about that for a whole season? 3 points.
For an entire, and it had to be in the last race, and what you had to do was stay where you were, and Josh Gerlach have the bad luck that he had, and then not be able to pick up one spot on the racetrack.
One single spot after 16 races is what it came down to. Isn't that amazing? First of all, before I say anything else, man, I just want to congratulate Josh Gerlach on an incredible season. He deserved it, man, probably more than I did, to be honest. Just a tiny bit of bad luck can flip not just one race, but a whole season upside down. So congratulations to him. It's a little bit bittersweet to be up here celebrating when a good friend of mine just lost it. But, hey, I'll take it from him any day of the week, if we're being honest.
Well, a championship's a championship, and not a lot of them come around. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is your second in the series.
Correct. Yeah, my second season championship. So now I've
And
just got to go for
one
the year-long
Ironman?
Ironman. No Ironman. That's what I'm shooting for it this
yeah,
year.
you
Gotta
just
go.
missed it a couple of years ago, right?
That was 1 point between Josh and I.
Yeah, there we go.
2023.
There's the 1 point between you. And it seems like you two are really close every single time, and it doesn't build a rivalry. I mean, you're friends, but on the racetrack, I know you're competitors, but it's not really a rivalry. You guys just race each other hard, but you do it in a very clean and very respectful manner. It just seems like you two are super tight in the points every single time.
Exactly, yeah. We're such similar performance and always near each other on track, and it's been a lot of fun making that comparison season after season. And to your point, man, even that first feature when he snuck by me on one of those last restarts for second place, I was cheering him on, like, hey, go do it again, go take the win, and I'll push you forward if I can.
Well, an awesome season, man. You do win the big hardware. I know this doesn't get you a lot closer. I mean, it closed the gap a little bit. He had quite a gap on the Ironman. You got 2 seasons left. Can you run him down in that Ironman and maybe finally take one from him?
I think we can. That's definitely the goal. I mean, like I said, I'll feel a little bad stealing 2 championships from him in a year, but I'm going to do it if I can.
Not as bad as you make it out, though. You won't feel that bad.
When that trophy shows up in the mail, we'll feel a little bit better.
There you go, my man. All right, well, give me some credit for the whole season to everybody that you want to shout out, all right?
Of course. Thank you, Roger. Loved having you here race after race. We really appreciate having you back, and hopefully we can get you on board for 25C. Thanks to James Gray, Robert Brenneman, and Mike Gebhard for contributing to that for this season as well. Really appreciate the generosity of those guys. Thanks to Josh for putting the league together and battling so hard for 16 races straight here. And everyone else, like I always say, for coming out and making this so much fun every single Thursday. It's so awesome.
Well, and you got to give a little testament to how much fun it must be to run with all you guys. And I love covering the races. And I think you guys have had the same core group I can't remember how long. It's been a while. But for those guys to want to see the races streamed, to help donate to keep that going and keep the league up, that's going to say a lot as to what kind of people you have here and the kind of people that you'd like to see come in and race with you maybe next season.
Yeah, that's just something else, isn't it? That these guys can come in and become such a quick part of that core group and get familiar and comfortable, and contributes to such great racing. And then guys like James, Robert, and Mike, like I said, who are that generous to help contribute toward a broadcast.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the championship. It is always fun to watch you guys get out here and race, and we get to say your name a lot. We have a lot this season for sure. So we'll be looking for you to defend that when we come back in August.
That's right. Let's go do it again, Roger.
All right, man. Congratulations again, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Billy Moros, your 2025B season champion. He steals it by 3 points. That is 1 position on the racetrack. And I know Josh had to finish 5 positions behind him for that to happen, but still, that says a lot over 16 races about how tight the racing is here at NetCode ESports. It has been a fun season. I can't wait for you guys to come back. I'm sure we're going to get some summer Shizzler races in, so random Thursdays here and there. We will not be back until Tuesday night. We have Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So ERA, it's all asphalt next week. ERA and Midwest Trucks. Make sure you tune in for that. Look for some big announcements coming up over the summer about some special races. I do know in June that Dirt Slingers has their 7th annual Jason Johnson Memorial coming up the last couple weeks of June there. We'll be covering that. And then a big special event IndyCar race at the Milwaukee Mile in July that we will be basically hosting. We will be the presenting sponsor for that deal. So that should be a lot of fun. Make sure you stay tuned. I want to I appreciate all of you being here. Without you, there is no reason for us to do this. With all the great leagues giving us fantastic racings to cover, everybody gets a pat on the back for that, because we wouldn't have anything to do if it wasn't for all these awesome leagues. So thank you guys all around. Have a safe and enjoyable holiday weekend. Make sure you come back and see us next week.